We here at Memory Mountain love bringing stories of yesterday to you, and we've started to do the same for Memory Mountain Sports. Please subscribe to both channels to enjoy all of our videos. In today's video, we're going to take a trip back to the fabulous 50s, a decade of rock and roll, drive-in theaters, soda fountains, and poodle skirts. But did you know there were other trends that were not so well known, but equally awesome? Here are some of my favorite trends of the 1950s that you maybe haven't heard of before. First up, the conical bra. Also known as a bullet bra or a torpedo bra, it was the ultimate fashion statement for women who wanted to achieve a pointy, perky bust line. The conical bra was popularized by stars like Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell. They wore them in movies like Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and The Outlaw. It was known as the bullet bra because of its shape, and it was often worn with tight sweaters to create a dramatic silhouette. The hula hoop. This simple toy became a craze in 1958 when it was marketed by the Wham-O company. Millions of people of all ages bought hula hoops and tried to keep them spinning around their waists, their hips, their necks, or their arms. Some even performed tricks and stunts with them. The hula hoop was not only fun, but it was also a great way to exercise and burn calories. The beatniks. These were the rebellious and artistic youth who rejected the conformity and materialism of mainstream society of the day. They mostly wore black clothing, berets, sunglasses, and goatees. They hung out in coffee houses, where they read poetry, played jazz music, and discussed philosophy. Some of the most famous beatniks were Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, William Burroughs, and Neal Cassady. And who can forget sock hops? This was the typical high school dance of the 1950s, where teens removed their shoes and danced in their socks to protect the gymnasium floor. They danced to rock and roll music by artists like Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and Buddy Holly. They also learned new dance moves like the jitterbug, the twist, and the bop. The coonskin cap. This was a furry hat with a raccoon tail attached to it. It became popular after the Disney TV series Davy Crockett aired in 1954. The show starred Fess Parker as the legendary frontiersman and hero of the Alamo, who wore a coonskin cap as part of his outfit. Kids all over America wanted to emulate him and bought coonskin caps of their own. Some even formed Davy Crockett clubs and sang his theme song about Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. The drive-in theater. This was a place where people could watch movies from their cars in a large outdoor parking lot with a giant screen. The drive-in theater was a perfect spot for a date night or even a family outing, as it offered privacy, convenience, and entertainment. Some drive-in theaters also had snack bars, playgrounds, and speakers that could be attached to your car windows. The gelatin mold. This was a dish that consisted of gelatin mixed with various ingredients, like fruit, vegetables, cheese, or even meat. And then it was molded into a decorative shape. The gelatin mold was a staple of 1950s cuisine, as it was easy to make, it was inexpensive, and it was versatile. It could be served as an appetizer, a salad, a dessert, or even as a main course. The poodle skirt. This was a colorful, long, swingy skirt that hit just below the knees and it had an image of a poodle or some other motif applied to it. The poodle skirt was one of the most fashionable and feminine trends of the 1950s, and was often worn with a tight sweater, a neck scarf, white bobby socks, and saddle shoes. The poodle skirt was also ideal for dancing as it swished and twirled with every move. Sideburns. This was a style of facial hair that consisted of long hair grown on the sides of the face, extending from the hairline to below the ears. Sideburns were a sign of masculinity and rebellion, and they were popularized by rock and roll stars like Elvis Presley, who sported them in his movies and at his concerts. Many young men followed his example and grew sideburns of their own, much to the dismay of their parents and teachers. The soda fountain. This was a place where people could get cold, refreshing drinks or ice cream served by a soda jerk who operated a machine that dispensed carbonated water and flavored syrups. The soda fountain was a social hub for teenagers who would hang out there after school or on weekends, listening to music on the jukebox, dancing on the floor, or chatting with their friends. Some of the popular drinks at the soda fountain were milkshakes, root beer floats, cherry cokes, and egg creams. So there you have it, 10 of the best trends of the 1950s that you may or may not have known about. Which one is your favorite, and which ones did I forget? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to read about them. Thanks for watching Memory Mountain. If you enjoyed this video, please click to subscribe to our channel and hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to tap the notification bell so you'll be one of the first to know when we post our next story looking back over the landscape of Americana.